All right, so now we're looking at the lower limb on the full body model. So from here, starting this, one of the reference points you can use to know you're looking at the lateral side is to look for the iliotibial tract, or the IT band or the IT tract. That's going to be on the lateral side. I think the light material is on the lateral side. So up here on the front of the hip, there's this shorter muscle here, right next to the IT band. Has a long name. It's called the tensor fascia lata. Okay, so that through there, it's going to tense that fascia that's in the area. There's that one, or the TFL. And then this one that's spiraling around, the longest muscle we have is the sartorius muscle. So wrapping around, going from lateral to medial. Is another muscle on the very medial side of your leg, going straight down the middle, is the gracilis muscle. I like to think of this one as going right to your groin. So groin and gracilis go together. The one that's spiraling was sartorius. Underneath gracilis is a collection of muscles. There's multiple, but we're learning them as one group. These are referred to as the adductor muscles that are going to adduct your leg towards your body. So those are the adductor muscles. And then up here, we can see a portion of this one that's kind of peeking through. This is the part of the iliopsoas muscle that we can see. So you get a better view of it on the full leg models. So you can check those out, but here's where you can see the iliopsoas muscle coming through. As we look at the thigh itself, we're gonna see the four muscles of the quadriceps, or the quads. So the first one that's sitting on top here, this is called rectus femoris. So we had rectus abdominis in the abs. So here on the femur, we have rectus femoris. Then we have what are called the vastus muscles. So this one on the outside is vastus lateralis. This one on the inside is vastus medialis. And then there's a vastus intermedius that's situated behind and underneath rectus femoris. So we'll take some of these muscles off here. Take off that one, take off rectus femoris. And here's where we can visualize kind of this connective tissue, but this is the vastus intermedius muscle. So those are four that are making up the quadriceps. And if we go ahead and look at the back on the gluteal region, there's three gluteal muscles, but we're learning the two main ones. So this one on top is gluteus maximus on either side there. So if we remove that, we can see underneath is gluteus medius. A portion of that though is peeking through even without removing gluteus maximus. So we see gluteus medius. If we rotate clockwise, we're going to see this one called piriformis, which is sitting right on top of this nerve. That's the sciatic nerve. So if that starts spasming, that can be fairly painful. Okay, so those are some muscles to know in the posterior gluteal region. As we move down to the posterior thigh, these are the three muscles that make up your hamstring muscles. So there's one on the lateral side and then two that are paired together on the medial side. So again, you can look for that IT band to know you're on the lateral side. So this one is called biceps femoris. So we had biceps brachii, and now we have biceps femoris, the one on the lateral side. And then here in the medial side, I call these the semis. So we have one on top, semitendinosus. There's a pretty distinct tendon here, semitendinosus. And then underneath, spread out on either side, kind of portions are seen there, is called semimembranosus, kind of spread out like a membrane underneath. So there's a portion of it viewed here and then on here, but imagine it underneath semitendinosus. We can also kind of see again that gracilis muscle, that was the most medial muscle on the inside of the leg. And then here's another view of those adductor muscles spread out underneath of those. Okay, then as we work our way to the lower leg, so on the calf, what we have, these muscles here are called gastrocnemius. Gastrocnemius. I've taken off one of the heads on this side so that we can see the muscle underneath, which is called the soleus muscle. So here's actually the main part of it, but then a portion of it is going to be peeking out through here. So you have soleus underneath, gastrocnemius on top. That's going to connect to your calcaneus bone through the Achilles tendon, or the calcaneus tendon. So that's this white material through here. Okay, then we have the muscles in the lower leg on the front. So if we think back to our bones, here is the tibia bone. So right next to that is going to be the muscle tibialis anterior. It's on the front, right next to your shin bone there. And then as we move out, this muscle, the tendons are going out to the toes. So this is called extensor digitorum longus. There's an extensor digitorum in your forearm. So the one in the leg has the word longus in the name. You can think that both of those start with L. And then finally we have this one on the side. So remember the fibula bone is on the lateral side. So you can look for the IT band. You can also look for the pinky toe. This muscle is called fibularis longus. It's a pretty distinct tendon there. So that's going to be between extensor digitorum longus and then the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle. Okay, so those are the muscles to know for the lower limb.